They're nice because they're simple. Nothing to worry about.
Charter captain and award-winning angler Elaine Supp loves to fish. When she's not chartering her boat, the Pura Vida, she's out on the lake with her kayak, catching as many fish as she can get a hook on.
I've been fishing since I was a kid. I've sort of evolved through the years when I got my own boat, and then when I moved to this area, primarily for the fishing, lots of different types. The river, we've got Lake Ontario, we're right near the Adirondacks, the St. Lawrence, the options are pretty much endless, and you can take the kayak in all of those places.
The place Elaine chose to take her kayak today is Colwell Pond, just outside the Lakeview Wildlife Management Area, a location full of fish and perfect for new and seasoned anglers alike.
Fishermen are in luck because you can find sunfish, northern pike, yellow perch, smallmouth bass. An angler would be very successful. The habitat here at Lakeview has recently undergone some restoration to remove some dense, thick mats of cattails to expose new habitat to encourage species like fish, like northern pike in particular, to utilize some of that newly created, opened up habitat.
But before anglers can hit the water with their kayak, there's a few things they need to consider, starting with the kayak itself.
The kayaks are all different lengths, weights, sizes. They have different options. You have to find the one that's going to work best for you, or you're going to be very frustrated and you won't end up using it. When I went to a demo day, which is what I would recommend for anyone who's getting into kayak fishing, there are a lot of different options out there. A lot of different brands now, a lot of different companies have gotten into it. There's different styles of actual propels, the propellers that go under the boat. So this is going to slide in right here. And when we get in the water, it's going to go down through the center of the kayak. It's in there.
Next, it's important to consider the gear you're bringing out on the water. From everything you put in your tackle box,
bug spray, sunscreen, whatever else you need,
to what you want to attach to your kayak. This is where a track system comes in handy.
You can add any accessories that fit into the track. There's rod holders, accessory holders, even for your fish finders and your transducer. You can set them up almost exactly the same as you would a larger fishing boat, just in a compact space.
But the most important piece of gear to consider is a PFD, or a personal flotation device.
There's all different styles. I wear an inflatable one that just clips around my waist. They're not as bulky as they used to be, and you can still, you don't get too hot. You can still move and do everything that you want to do, but there's lots of different styles. So that's the most important, number one, because anything can happen out there.
I like this style because of the amount of flotation and all the pockets for all the gadgets that I want to access quickly. The most important thing about a life jacket when you're selecting one is, one, it's appropriate for the temperature, but two, it's comfortable enough that you're actually going to want to wear it, because that's what's going to save your life, is a life jacket worn.
Lastly, it's important to remain environmentally conscious when going fishing, both before, during, and after you fish.
You should be really mindful about not spreading invasive species from water body to water body, because just because a species exists in one area doesn't mean it is in another area. So when you leave the water, be sure to clean, drain, and dry. That just means to inspect your kayak, take a look at your kayak and your fishing gear, remove any obvious plants or organisms that you see. And then before you go to a new water body, just drain out the water and let your gear and boat dry. And that is a very simple and highly effective means in preventing the spread of invasive species.
What's most important to Elaine is to encourage anglers of all experiences to get out and have fun with it, whether they're in it for the fishing or just taking in the scenery.
About 7 years ago, I started a page called Fish Grill Outdoors. The intent of it was really just to encourage more people to get out and enjoy the outdoors. There seems to be a bit of an invisible barrier. Things can be very intimidating. Kayak fishing to be one of those things. If you didn't have somebody who showed you how to do it, at some point in your life, you might see it out there, you might see somebody else doing it and wish that you could do it or want to be able to do it, and a lot of people just don't because they don't have the answers and it's very intimidating. So part of that is just getting out and trying it and encouraging people to do it. You don't have to be a professional. I'm not a professional fisherman. Well, I sort of am. What I enjoy most about fishing from the kayak is your ability to control everything around you. Your speed. You're not worrying about the boat at all. You're not worrying about any other external items. You have complete control over your boat and what you're doing.
It's encouraged that anglers carry their New York State fishing license before heading out on the water. In Ellisburg for WPBS Weekly, I'm Luke Smith.